Welcome to Sioux City, Iowa. I am your incoming FY15 National Council of Architectural Registration Board's president. I'm a Central Iowa born and raised farm kid, married my high school sweetheart, and then shortly after that my country decided they wanted me in the United States Army. I left for Vietnam and was assigned to a recon platoon in the Central Highlands in 1970. I got to know one of my recon platoon members very well. He happened to be a landscape architect. Had the opportunity to talk with him in more detail about his venture into the landscape architecture world that got me thinking about my interest in buildings and architecture. I left hot and humid South Vietnam in February of 1971. 2 days later, registered and started classes, and eventually graduated from Iowa State with a degree in architecture in 1975. My next step came with a move to Sioux City, Iowa, and an offer of employment with a firm here in town, and I've been here ever since. I've had a wonderful life here, raising 2 sons and practicing in several different settings, but clearly comfortable in what I do and how I do it. I became an active member of the State of Iowa chapter of the American Institute of Architects, becoming a board member and eventually the president of the state organization in 1989. Following that, I was encouraged to get involved on the national level and succeeded in becoming elected to the National AIA Board as a director from Central States, serving a 3-year term in 1997, 98, and 99. I was asked a couple of times if I would be interested in having my name submitted to the governor of Iowa for an appointment to the state licensing board. I finally accepted an appointment in 2001, serving 3 3-year terms ending in 2010. My commitment there led me to the National Council of Architectural Registration Boards. I had the opportunity to meet some fantastic people from around the country. It gave me the insight into the regulatory side of the profession of architecture, which I truly enjoyed. The committee work, the volunteers are really what makes the National Council of Architectural Registration Boards happen. That's where the work really comes together. That's where real change happens. And my commitment to that volunteer side and the encouragement of a number of folks from around the country led me to becoming a director from the Central States, Region 4, and then eventually running for office. The Anderson Dance Pavilion was a Chamber Foundation project in the late 80s, directed at creating a dance pavilion on the riverfront. Knowing that we were on unstable soil conditions adjacent to the Missouri River, we felt that a light structure was appropriate. We settled in on a tension fabric structure, and the primary company at that time was Bird Air, located in Amherst, New York. Finished in 1990. It is still an active place on the riverfront. The Carnegie Library was my first venture into adaptive reuse of a building that clearly was National Register eligible and was placed on the National Register. We hooked up with a not-for-profit developer interested in creating low-income housing utilizing historic structures. So a mixture of low-income housing tax credits and historic tax credits as a funding mechanism. Having the opportunity to save the building was a real plus. This building was completed with 20 units of low-income housing. We maintained the central 2-story atrium space. Plymouth Block was a second historic property with the same not-for-profit developer. This is a five-story building located in one of our historic districts in Sioux City. It covered a full quarter block with a full-height atrium buried in the middle of the building. This was our first venture down a mixed use, adaptive reuse. This utilized the upper two floors for both market rate as well as low-income housing and commercial office retail located on the ground floors. I look forward to the opportunities to serve you in the upcoming year. I would encourage anyone to contact me if they have any questions. We're here to serve and hopefully have the opportunity to continue to move the council forward into the future.